Good morning, everybody. How are you? Hey, Kelly. Hey, Herschel.
Hey.
Morning.
Good morning. All right. So today is our second MoneyWise Wednesday. We're going to be talking about budgeting. You excited?
Yes.
I'm super excited. So for those of you who didn't tune in last week, kids and parents, we talked about identity theft and fraud protection. And Kelly introduced us to the It's a Money Thing suite that we have on our website for you, absolutely free. No charge to you. We've already paid for it so that you don't have to. So it's really fun. So if you're looking for something for your kids to do in between some of their online schooling, definitely go check out the website. We're going to show you where to go today. So we're trying out new technology, so bear with us. Hopefully everything works out okay. We're new at this, so hopefully everything works out, but please be patient with us. And then we also have Josh behind the scenes. You can't see him right now, but he's secretly listening. And we just want to give him a big shout out because he's going to be doing a lot of the editing for us and making sure that we get this up on our website and our social media platforms so that you all can watch this later. So we have pre-recorded this. So this isn't happening live because we are trying to practice the social distancing the correct way. We don't want to put each other at risk. So that's what we're doing today. All right. So now I'm going to just show you where to go to find all of this content that we're teaching you on It's a Money Thing on our website. Okay, so it's really simple. You just start by going to our website, envisioncu.com. And when you get to our main website, you'll just click on resources right here and just hover over it and go down to It's a Money Thing. And that's going to bring you to this page right here. All right, and it's reloading here. And when you go to this page, it's going to allow you to see all the different money topics that we have. So last week when Kelly taught you on identity theft, she clicked right here on this little magnifying glass here. And so today we're going to be teaching you budgeting basics, which is right here, this little calculator. But look at all of these different money topics.
Yes.
So many. And, you know, we won't probably go over all of these with you while you're home from school, but we certainly are excited to share with you more of these topics over the next few Wednesdays for MoneyWise Wednesday. So if you see a topic, or parents, if you see a topic that looks really interesting to you, go ahead and comment in the comments here on the video and let us know what you would like to see us teach you about, and we'll be able to put that on our schedule. So I'm going to click on the budgeting basics, and this shows you there's a couple of different important resources here. First of all, with every money topic, you're going to get a video. So we're going to watch your video about Jen here in just a little bit as she is taking a look at budgeting basics and why it's important to her. And then we're going to click on our presentation here. So parents, or even, you know, teachers, if you have a use for this in the future, you can click on the presentation as well to teach your students if you have a group of folks, once we all can start meeting together again in a group. And then there's other resources that you can print out, like activities or some other articles and stuff like that that you can read. But before we do that, let's kind of start a little bit of the discussion with why is budgeting important?
Yes, it's about creating saving and spending habits for long-term healthy behaviors. We want to make sure that we're doing the right thing now so that we're making sure that we're doing the right thing later.
Right, so if you guys are doing chores at home, right, if you're earning money in any certain way, what are you going to do with that money, right? So budgeting allows you to come up with a plan for what you're going to do with that money, maybe even before you actually earn it, right?
Absolutely.
And so that way, when the future happens, right, or let's say you have something in particular you want to buy or spend that money on, you can now decide if I want to spend money that I've budgeted to do that, or if I want to shift things a little bit and start saving more for something else. So it really helps you, I think, set some principles in place. Kelly, so you have a background with like what a mortgage is. So a mortgage or rent is a big part of someone's expenses, right? It's a big thing that we pay for when we are a grown-up, right? So why is budgeting important when you're a grown-up, when you live in a house that you're paying for on your own, whether you rent it or you're, you know, mortgaging it?
Well, like Herschel had mentioned earlier, once you start a budget and you know what you can afford to buy and spend, when you get to that point where you're looking at renting a property or you're looking at buying a house, you're going to know automatically, because you've been doing it for so long, you're going to know exactly what you can afford and what you can't afford. And so although that really expensive apartment looks really good, you'll know before you even get started that that's not what you can afford, and it sets you up for a great future.
Right. So having a budget helps you live. We call it live within your means, kids.
Your means, yes.
Live within your means. You can talk to your parents about what that is. And some of them are probably going like this right now too, because we want to have a nice car. We want to have a nice house. We want to live in a nice part of town, right?
Yes.
We want all these different amenities in life, but sometimes the income that we make, the job we have, we can't afford those things. So budgeting helps us know and have a realistic expectation on what can we afford, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're gonna stop talking so you guys can go watch the Jen video. So let me pop back over here so that we can watch the video together. I think you're really gonna like this.
I love Jen.
Fortune teller. Ah, sweet. I can't pass up a good deal.
Come in, come in. Cross my palm with silver to unlock the secrets of eternal prosperity. It's $20, kid.
What? I mean, of course, I thought this was supposed to be a cheaper place.
I sense your name is
Jen?
Jen.
Wow.
And you appear to be a plumber.
Nope.
But there is more than meets the eye. For you have some sort of part-time job?
Yes.
Great. So you have a regular paycheck coming in. Draw a card, Jen. Choose wisely.
Oh no. What does it mean?
Oh, that's just car insurance. That's usually an annual one. So that goes over here. Draw another. Oh my. With that card, I sense a powerful energy here.
The utilities card? Wait a second. Utilities, income, expenses. Are you budgeting me?
Well, yeah.
I thought you read fortunes.
You won't have any fortune left for me to read unless you know how much you spend versus how much you earn. Your income is actually less than your paycheck or salary. When planning a budget, you must factor in taxes and deductions. Otherwise, you will be budgeting money you don't even have.
But budgeting is mostly for saving up for big stuff, right? I pay my rent and internet, and I still have money left over, so I'm good.
How do you know what you can and can't afford?
Well, I look at my account balance, and if there's money there, I know I can spend it.
Your palm! Show me your palm!
Palm reading. Now we're talking. Ow!
No more spending until you give every dollar a job. Part of that account balance that you're freely spending on fun stuff should actually be going to savings and one-time payments. Budgeting doesn't mean feeling guilty for fun purchases. It means feeling confident about them.
Like being in control of your own destiny.
Sure. Look, my crystal ball.
What do you see?
It's a warning, an unforeseen circumstance, an emergency of some sort.
Oh no.
It is unavoidable, Jen. If you do not prepare yourself, it will cost you dearly.
That sounds horrible. What is it? An accident?
It could be, or just like your car doesn't start one morning, or there's a loss of income in your household, or something like that.
Oh, this is a budgeting thing again.
An emergency fund is an important part of your budget.
It's cool. I get it.
Are you sure? Because I predict many more sessions for you with the budget fortune teller at a very reasonable rate.
No, I think I got it. Budgeting is about control. I need to be real about my income and watch out for sneaky expenses. And savings and emergency funds are important. Great.
But the crystal ball told me. I foresee at least 7 to 8 more sessions. Luna has bills to pay too. Hey!
This is so pretty.
Why, thank you. I've had it for years. It's... Oops.
I bet you didn't foresee that emergency expense. Huh?
Isn't that great, guys?
Indeed. We love Jen.
Oh, we love Jen. I love that. I like when she's like, hey, I'm going to read your palm. And then she pops it. Right? She wasn't expecting that to happen, was she? All right, so that's Jen, right? That's the story of Jen and budgeting. Some really good stuff there. Kelly, I heard them mentioning, she's like, rent, right? Herschel, what was the way that Jen said, whenever the palm reader asked her how does she know that she can afford something? What was her response? Do you remember what she pulled up and showed? Her cell phone, right? She's like,
Oh, yes.
I just checked my balance on my account.
Yes, online, which is only a resource, right? Which is only a resource, but
That's right.
We know where we spend our money, how we save our money. That's only a resource. Make sure you're using all the tools that you have, writing it down, checking in on your mobile phone app at times if you have it, but manage your budget and make sure you know where you stand at all times.
Exactly, because just seeing what's on the bottom line doesn't mean that that's exactly how much money you have. Because what if something hasn't been withdrawn from your account yet? So that's what we're really trying to make sure that you guys are getting here. All right, so we're gonna jump over real quick. All right, so let's dive into some of the details, okay? So a budget is kind of like a New Year's resolution, right? A New Year's resolution is when you kind of make a promise at the beginning of the year that you're not gonna do something that you've always done before, or you're going to do it differently, right? So a lot of us parents out there, usually it's something like weight loss, right? We're going to get skinnier, or we're going to be healthier, or maybe we're going to set a different habit in place. Like maybe I'm going to save a certain amount of money, right? Or maybe this is the year that I increase my credit score so that I can buy a house. So there's all these different things. And you as kiddos might even set your own resolutions sometimes. So we all know that a budget is designed to really help us, yet sometimes we have a lot of trouble really sticking to it, right? It's not fun to budget. Nobody really wants to do that. So let's talk about a couple of the common misconceptions. So a misconception is an idea that you have about something, or an opinion that you have about something that's really created on kind of a false idea, or something that's not true because you don't know all the details about it, right? So it doesn't mean that it's necessarily not true, but that a particular statement about something is not true because of the fact that you don't have all the information to make a decision. That's what a misconception is. So here's a misconception about budgeting. Having a budget means I have to feel guilty about spending my money on stuff. Is that true or false? Right? Some of us are like, yeah, I feel really bad about spending my money, right? But that's a misconception. Having a budget means that you can feel more confident and excited about spending your money, right? On anything that you want. I always like to tell folks that you can certainly save to spend. It's okay to spend your money, you know? So, but as long as you're saving up for it, right? And it's not hurting you, or you're depleting everything that you earned your money for. You did all your chores and you went and blew it all on one thing. That's your prerogative. You can do that if you want. But then later, if you wanted something else and you don't have any money, and mom and dad say, sorry, we can't get that because you don't have any money left because you spent all your allowance, right? Because you didn't budget for it, right? Have you guys ever been in that situation, Kelly, Herschel? I know when I was a kid,
Oh yeah,
I burnt that money faster than I earned it, right? And so you shouldn't have to feel guilty about it, but you can put, when you have a budget, you know, I have exactly this much money in my account and I need this much money more to accomplish this thing that I want, right? All right, so let's talk about the next one. In order for a budget to be successful, I need to switch to a super frugal lifestyle. What does frugal mean, Herschel?
well, being cheap. Let's just put it in common term. Being cheap. You're cheating yourself out of everything that brings you pleasure in life, right? Frugal.
That's right. That's what frugal means. It means like I have to go the cheaper option, right? Or I have to maybe not enjoy certain things in life. But that's not the case. Really, in order for your budget to be successful, you just need to understand where your money's going, right? It's on purpose, right? If I want to go spend it at McDonald's on a super kids meal or whatever, I can totally spend my money on that as long as I have said I'm going to spend this much money on eating out and not feel bad about it. All right, now some of you parents that might be watching this too, you're like, oh yes, this is me, right? So budgets keep you stressed. Do you kids believe that? Do budgets keep you stressed? I know sometimes I get stressed out when I'm sticking to a budget because it seems like the things that I'm trying to do are not ever going to happen, right? But that's another misconception. They keep you safe, right? So your parents are going through a scenario right now. You're going to have incredible stories to tell your kids and your grandkids one day about the times we're living in right now, about this whole coronavirus mess, right? And so you can help your parents not be stressed out right now during this coronavirus phase by not asking for a lot of unnecessary things that cost them money, right? So when your parents can budget, and when you can budget on your allowance money and not waste or maybe help your parents right now during all the situations that are going on and all the uncertainty in the world, right? It helps you be a little more safe because you kind of know exactly where that money is going to go or what it can help you do, right?
Very well.
All right, so best practices for how to start a budget. First of all, not everybody likes to do things the same way. Kelly budgets money very differently than Herschel budgets money, and they both budget differently than maybe I might budget money. So some people like using their apps. We talked about that. Obviously, Jen likes looking at her apps, see what her balances are, right? Other people are really happy with putting it on paper. Yeah, exactly. Pen and
write it down.
Write it down. My husband and I, we like to use an Excel spreadsheet. So some of you kids are already learning how to use Excel at your schools, right? Or maybe your parents use it at home. The Excel formulas are really cool because you can just say, I have this much money, I'm paying these bills, how much money do I have left? And then what am I going to do with that money, right? So there's a lot of different ways that you can do it. Your budget is based on what you bring home. So we don't have time to get into it today, but I'm going to show you where you can go see one of the handouts that talks about the difference between gross income and net income. For some of you guys, you might be like, I don't even know what that means. You guys are telling me something that's way over my head. That's okay. Just sit down with your parents and talk about what the differences are, because there is a difference, because there are some things that are taken out of your overall pay before your money actually gets to you when you have a job. So we encourage you guys to take some time to go explore what that means, right? But the next step is to really make sure you're taking savings seriously, okay? Herschel had some information to share with you guys about savings. Herschel, what did you want to tell them about, like how many people in the, oh, not how many people, but what is the average amount of money right now that people are struggling to even save up right now for emergencies?
$300, Kelly. And it's incredibly overwhelming to think that that number is the new stress number, right? The old number, Kelly, that we referenced used to be $1,000. Consumers and savers used to have a struggle saving up to $1,000 for emergency instances that may take place in their life. The new number is 300.
Wow.
But that creates stress in people's life now. That's scary.
Right. And especially right now with coronavirus stuff happening, you guys might be seeing your parents really stressing out about what's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. You might be hearing them having these kind of conversations. So this is why it's important right now as a young person, you can go ahead and start thinking about what it means to save. So in the future, when you're a grown up, if something like this happens when you're older and you're living on your own, right, you can know how you might be able to pay for some things, right, by having it set aside. And then checking your budget, not your balance. That's what Jen was doing. She was checking her account balance. Check your budget. And you can just, if you like to put goals down, some of you guys like to write a to-do list down. A lot of girls like to do this. A lot of girls like to write a list down and then check it off when it's happened, right? So for all of you, guys, girls, whatever, it doesn't matter. Write it down and then put a check mark by it when it's done and you know that it's done, and subtract it from whatever you have in your account, okay? And then, building up an emergency fund. Okay, so Kelly, can you tell us what's the difference between an emergency fund and a regular savings account?
So a regular savings account is something that you're going to set aside for something special or for the future, something that you really want. Let's say you really want an Xbox. That's setting something aside in your savings. That's a goal that you have. An emergency fund should be money that you have set aside for something like the coronavirus, something for a situation that you weren't planning on, for a hurricane, for your car breaking down, like Jen's, if her car didn't start, right. You have an emergency fund set aside just for things like that. And the hard thing with an emergency fund is knowing to leave it alone. To set it aside, and you know, the Xbox isn't an emergency, so you can't touch that. So that's what an emergency fund is for.
I think my 12-year-old son might disagree with you on that. I think that is a major emergency, especially right now, right? Yeah, so right here, as you can see on the screen, it says aim for 3 to 6 months of living expenses. So that means if for some reason you lose your job or you get sick and you can't work and you're no longer receiving a paycheck, if you have 3 to 6 months worth of all of your expenses sitting in an account, then you can draw from that money as if it's your income in the event that that happens to you. So this is probably one of the hardest steps that if most Americans don't even have $300 in a savings account to cover an emergency, you can imagine most of us, even more, don't have anything close to this. So you guys are learning right now a really cool tool to help you get ahead in the future when you're a grown-up. Like, how cool would that be to put that money in savings? And then I think it helps you decide, do I want to spend this money on this junk that I'm about to buy that I don't really need, that's probably going to break in 30 days anyway, that my mom and dad are telling me I shouldn't spend my money on? Or should I put it in savings? And then when I turn 18 and I'm living on my own, I can buy myself a car. I mean, whatever it is, right? And then with an emergency fund, should I go ahead and start putting it in a separate account so that when I'm living on my own and something happens, or if I can't find a job right out of high school or college, I'll have that money there to help me live on my own. I would ask if you have any questions, but obviously we're not in a classroom setting, so a little harder for us. We really miss you, by the way. We miss being able to come to rooms and teach you and get together with some of your extracurricular groups that you hang out with after school. We really do miss you. It just hit me that how much I miss seeing you guys doing that. And I know Kelly and Herschel do too, because they work with you guys a lot as well.
Indeed.
All right, so let's do a recap. Kelly, Herschel, do either of y'all have any final comments for everyone, or do you think we've covered it all?
Yes, I think the journey should start now. Let's not wait and start those savings accounts and those emergency funds tomorrow. Let's think about what's happening today. Let's start our journey today. Thank you.
And remember that it doesn't have to be a big number that you start with. If you get $5 a week in allowance, if you can put $1 a week away, that's a start to a big savings when you're older.
That's right. That's true. All right, real quick, I'm going to hop back over and show you all, just remind you all where to go to find Jen, and if you wanted to go do a review at this, or if you wanted to find another money topic. So resources, It's a Money Thing, right? That's going to be to our main It's a Money Thing landing page, where you can choose all the different money topics down here. You'll just click on whichever one when you want to get started, okay? Today we clicked on budgeting basics, and we watched the video here. We also pulled up the PowerPoint presentation, which shows some more details about what we talked about. And this is that handout that I was telling you about right here, where it talks about the difference between a gross income and a net income. If you were to click on this, it would pop up on the screen, and you and your parents can talk about this together if you want to learn a little bit more about how you would start budgeting. And then this also has some really cool, this is like an article, a newspaper article that you might read, right? Or informational article that you might read from one of your teachers at school. So this has some more tips and some basic steps to help you get on the track to starting your own budget, your own budget here. So envisioncu.com, resources, It's a Money Thing is where you're gonna go. All right, real quick, comment below.
Yes.
Be entered to win a $25 Visa gift card. We had 2 winners from last week that joined us, which was super cool. We're gonna draw a winner on Friday. And then parents, if you take a picture of your child learning about It's a Money Thing on their computer, right, and post that in the comments or tag us on a post that you make, we're gonna doubly enter you. So you're gonna get entered twice for doing that, because we want to be able to spread the word about it. It's a Money Thing, and let everybody know that it's there for you and that we're here for you and that it's free. So, all right, guys, we're done. Not sure what next week's topic is going to be, but we're going to certainly post about it. If you have any specific requests, go ahead and comment it below in the video comments. Let us know what you want to hear, and we'll be back with you next week, same place, same time. See you at 10 a.m. next Wednesday. Thank you, Herschel. Thank you, Kelly.
See you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.